Winning Blueprint presents. In the Lab. 5 minutes or less.
Had so much success with it in the past. I'm back with it again, the 5 minute or less series. Welcome. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. 5 minute or less series. This time it's the scheduled release 5 minute or less series. Here with the New York Giants. Got 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get started. So you look at the schedule, and the first thing I look at, any schedule, doesn't matter what team, primetime games. We're talking about the New York Giants, the New York Football Giants, a huge brand in the National Football League. And so you expect primetime games. Eli Manning, Tom Coughlin, Victor Cruz, that whole group. It's going to be a primetime filled schedule for the Giants. So you look at it and you say, wow, 5 games. What did you expect? So you go through it. Week 6 at Chicago. Primetime game, Thursday Night Football. That's going to be a lot of fun. 2 really good football teams, 2 big brand football teams squaring off against each other should be a lot of fun. Look at week 1 at Dallas. Right off the bat, Sunday Night Football. Big boy football, Sunday night. Collinsworth, Michaels, week 1, Dallas. Wow. Does it get any better than that? So you got to go to Dallas. Last year, they had to come to you. They were able to beat you. This year, you got to go to them. What are you going to do? You look at week 11. You're home for Green Bay, Sunday Night Football. That's a big matchup. You have the Packers number. Not many teams can say that, but you can. Are you going to continue the dominance over the Green Bay Packers? We will see. Week 11, Sunday Night Football. Week 7 versus the Minnesota Vikings. You're on Monday Night Football. That's going to be a very good game. Adrian Peterson and that Vikings rushing attack versus your defense. We're going to see how that plays itself out. And then you look at your passing attack against that Vikings defense. That should be a lot of fun. Week 7, you're home for the Vikings on Monday Night Football. You look at Week 13, you're at Washington. Again, for the second year in a row, Monday Night Football, you're on the road versus the Redskins. Last year, you weren't able to get it done. Let's see if you can change your fortunes against the Redskins on Monday Night Football on the road in Week 13. You look at divisional games. Washington, Week 17, you're home, and you'll take that. Anytime you're at home to end the season, because you don't know what that last game of the season is going to mean. The NFC East seems to always come down to the wire every year. You want your last game of the season to be at home, if at all possible. It's at home. It's Washington, the team that won the division last year. That should be a really compelling matchup at the end of the season. You look at Week 13. We already talked about that. Monday night game at Washington. That should be a great football game. You look at Dallas. Week 12, coming to New York. That's a big game. You got to find a way to beat Big D. And look, all the divisional games are huge, especially in the NFC East where it's all compacted. All these teams are mumbled and jumbled up together. Got to find a way to win games, especially at home in the division. You look at week 1. We already talked about that. That's the Sunday night matchup versus the Cowboys to open up the season. You look at Philly. Week 5, they're coming to your place. Got to take the Eagles down. And you really don't know what to expect. Chip Kelly has a new program going. You really don't know what you're getting out of the Eagles right now. And so that's going to be an interesting game. Week 8, you got to go to Philly. So again, you don't really know what to expect from the Eagles. They're the wild card in this division right now. You look at anomalies, and that's any scheduling quirk that sees you play 3 or more games in a row at home or away, 3 out of 4 at home or away, 4 out of 5 at home or away. You look at your schedule, and you've got anomalies all over the place. 3 straight at home is a home anomaly. Week 10, home for Oakland. Week 11, home for Green Bay. Week 12, home for Dallas. So the NFL doesn't like giving out 3 straight of anything. You got 3 straight at home, so you must know that you're going to pay for that in the way of anomalies going away. And you look at your schedule, and you got 2, 3 out of 4 anomalies. Go figure. You get 3 straight at home, you're going to pay for it at some point. 3 out of 4. Week 1 at Dallas. Week 3 at Carolina. Week 4 at Kansas City. So right out of the box, right out of the gate, you got 3 out of 4 on the road. That's tough. It's really tough. But if you can find a way to weather that storm, you got to feel good about yourself. If you split that up and go 2-2, great. If you go 3-1, that's even better. If you go 4-0, man, are you coming out like gangbusters? You look at another 3 out of 4 stretch in your schedule. Week 13 at Washington. Week 14 at San Diego. Week 16 at Detroit. Again, at the end of the schedule, another tough 3 out of 4 game stretch. But again, you got 3 straight at home. You were going to have to pay for that. You look at your bye week. Week 9. That's a really good bye week. You can't get it much better than that. That's right down the middle. You look at your COTC games. And for me, COTC stands for Circle on the Calendar games. And you've got 2 of them. Week 1, Dallas. Look, you're at Dallas in week 1. That's a tough matchup. Sunday Night Football primetime doesn't get much better than that. Week 11, Green Bay. That's a primetime matchup as well. Sunday Night Football, that should be a lot of fun. You have the Packers number. The Packers are going to be out for blood. Trust me. You look at the timeout. And every team has a timeout on their schedule. And you're no different. You're a 5-star team. And that's the first timeout that I look at. And what I mean by that is the NFL only allows a maximum of 5 primetime games. There are only 9 teams in the league that have 5 primetime games. You're one of them. You are a 5-star football team. You look at your anomalies, and they are rampant on your schedule. You had 3 anomalies, 1 home, 2 away. That's something that you have to keep in mind. That's a tough schedule. But look, your schedule last year to me was more brutal than this one. You'll take the anomalies. It's a solid schedule for the Giants. That is the Giants' schedule release in 5 minutes or less.
5 minutes or less.